Hey, welcome back. So I know that in the past I've kind of been the king of long form episodes. This one's going to be a little bit shorter. I'm just building a box, but I'm doing something different. I'm going to try some inlay. So I'm using the 3/4 inch birch that I've used on all my boxes except for that one MDF box that I hated with a passion. But I'm going to be using an oak inlay. The box is going to be stained with the ebony stain. And I got some red stain that is on the way from Amazon. Should be here. Let's see, what's today? The 21st. Should be here like Wednesday or Thursday. And I'm going to use that to stain the oak, and it's going to be red because I want it to match this monster right here. So this is the DD Audio 818F, and the lettering is red. So I thought it'd be really cool as well as the stitching on the inside of the sub is red. And I thought it'd be really cool to try and match that with the flow and the theme of the box. So let's go ahead and get started. I don't have a pickup. I have an SUV. So getting lumber home is kind of a pain in the butt. However, there's one, call it a hack if you want, that I do, which is I had all this cut at the Home Depot. I did not have them cut it to the perfect size. And that's because the blades that they use often are either dull or they just suck. So what I did is I had them overcut it, and then I'll use my table saw and I will get everything cut to final dimensions. And I'll tape up the edges. That way I get a nice clean cut and I don't have to worry about tear out or splinters or any other garbage. Had to get onto a step stool for this monster. So here's your port right here. It's going to come in here. We got 96 square inches of port area. Now, right from here to here, I'm planning on doing a window brace. So I have a window brace here. I will have a brace in the center of this going to that window brace. I will have a brace in the center of the box going from here straight up. I'll be bracing from front to back, top and bottom, top and bottom. And I might run one brace from this side to this side, just all the way through, just to make sure that nothing flexes. 118. I mean, this thing's going to be a monster. He's putting the Epic 4000 on this thing, so it is going to beat. And I'm hoping we can do some hair tricks. This is hands down, this is the biggest box I've ever done. I will be staining all of this before I do any of the glue up. All of these panels will be using pocket holes. So the only screws on the outside will probably be from the bottom. So what you were just watching was me cutting out the window brace, and this is by far the biggest window brace I've ever seen. I've never done one this big before, but the purpose of this is going to add strength to the port, where the port comes in and then makes its bend. This is going to be at the end of the bend, and it's going to tie that into the front baffle. This looks like crap right now because it's not finished, and the thing is, no one's ever going to see this. This is going to be in the box. It's, you know, who cares what it looks like? I do. So I will clean this up, I'll sand it, and then every single edge in here is going to get rounded off. Except the top edges, they're not going to matter. This is where your turbulence is going to be in, so all of these will get rounded off so the airflow will be nice and smooth. So if anybody ever wonders why custom box builders, they're expensive. Boxes are not cheap. This is why. I've been working at this 4.5 hours so far. All I've gotten done is I had to figure out the layout. I had to get the wood cut. I had to do the window brace, and then it's just a lot of back and forth with measurements and whatever. This is just the preliminary. I still have to put it together, so that's glue and screw. I've probably got 2 hours left just in doing pocket holes. So it takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of patience, and it's not cheap. So if you ever wonder why, that's why. So when you do a custom subwoofer enclosure, you have to cut the holes for the speaker. Not all speakers are created equal. The baskets are different sizes. So Mobile Solutions sells the circular templates, but they're not a one-size-fits-all template. They're oversized. So in order to compensate for that, you have to have an oversized bearing on the router bit that you're using, which will actually shrink the hole that you're planning on routering out. This happens to be a 1/2 inch. I believe that's a 1/2 inch, because this, when I put it on the subwoofer, I had almost a full inch of play. So if you divide that by 2, that's a 1/2 inch. So you use the 1/2 inch oversized, and then you should have a hole that will match. Now, Mobile Solutions puts these hash marks on here so you can line it up on your baffle and get a perfect center every time. So we're gonna have the sub, it'll be centered, but it'll be moved over just a little bit. So let's I'll show you how that works. So the purpose for doing this is twofold. Number one, I'm going to need a template. If I have another 18, then I can have my own template. Once I oversize this, this will be my template, and I won't have to worry about the oversized bearing again. I can slap on a flush bearing, and this template will become the template for the baffles on this particular box. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'll flip the template over on the other side, put my template tape on here, and I will tell you guys that if you're ever going to do templating, don't go to the craft store and buy double-sided tape. I've tried that, and I can tell you hands down, that stuff is not made for templates. That stuff is made for sticking something down and it doesn't come up again. And the bad thing about it is when you're done with it, when you go to pull the template tape off, oh my gosh, forget about it. It does not come off, and it's like you're rolling it, and it's disgusting, and it just takes forever to come off. This stuff, and I bought this on Amazon. I've never dropped a link in any of my videos, but I'm going to try and figure out how I can drop a link. So if you guys want template tape, I would highly, highly, highly recommend this stuff. It's awesome. I've already used it once. Super easy to get the backing off once you get the corner. And it's white, so it's kind of, you pull it off, and the tape is white. So you're like, oh, did I actually pull the backing off? But I say it's easy, and then it defeats me. So anyways, yeah, so I'll drop a link in the description. And it's not that expensive. I think I got this smaller roll, and I got a bigger roll, and I think I maybe spent $20 for 4 rolls, which will last me probably a year or better. And I'll tell you, I enjoy working in the shop, but the router is one of the only tools I have that scares the crap out of me every time I use it. So my boxes generally just have bolts going through the side, and I think I kind of want to step it up to the next level, and it looks a little lame. So what I did is I created these little terminals. This will be on the outside. It's frosted. This will be on the inside. They're kind of like a trapezoid. They're not square, just a little different. So, and what I'll do is I'm going to route out an inset. This is 1/4 inch, I believe. So I'll route out an inset, top and bottom. That's not 1/4 inch because that wouldn't work. 1/8 of an inch. That's right. And then I'll inset these. Okay, so this is going to be the left side of the box, and these are my terminals. So I've got that one's going to go on the back side, this one's going to go on the front side, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to trace around this, and then I'm going to use my router, and I'm going to go the same depth as this. I'm going to take it down, and then I'm going to drill 2 holes on the other side that will correspond with this, and then I'm going to do the exact same thing on the other side. That way the screws go through. Now you can't see it, and I did it off camera, but I bought a tap and die set, and these holes are actually threaded. So the terminal screws are going to come out, but they're going to be stronger because they're threaded, and they're going to pop out from the they're going to go from the inside out, and then I'll have little acorn nuts that'll sit on the outside, and they'll be painted red and black, and that'll determine, you know, positive and negative for your terminals. Okay, so that is installed. What I did is I got both screws in there. I just threw a nut on that side, so now it's clamped. I threw some wood glue on the back side there, so it's clamped in, and that is nice and flush. Now it's not perfect. That's okay, because I'm gonna go back. When I do, you know, the little bit of body work that this needs to be done, this will all get filled in, and it'll look good. So at this point, I've got the back wall glued. That was the only thing I needed to do for this piece, so I'll go ahead and get this glued. I think that might be it for the night. Welcome back. Day 3 of this build. Biggest box I've ever done, volume wise. So the plan today is drink my cocoa. I got to get the baffles routed out. I want to get the right side attached and glued. Probably the port as well. I'm thinking, so what I have to do, you know, I'm using pocket hole screws for this whole thing, so I have to figure out how I'm going to attach the rear of this box to the top. Actually, now that I'm looking at it, I think I can just go straight through the port. I was thinking, man, I'm gonna have to fish my hand around that, you know, the backside of the port to get it, but I can just go through the port. I got 5 inches. So anyways, I got to get that done. I got to get the braces measured and cut and rounded over, and then I got to get the roundovers in the corners. I got a lot of work to do, so let's get it done.
You did say my by my nickname one last.
Okay, so now what we're gonna do is this goes in here like so. Okay, so now there's the port, and this is exactly what I was talking about. And I wasn't even thinking, I mean, there I'll be able to get easy, but I'm gonna have to wrap my hand around to get 1, 2, 3, 4 of these screws. Luckily, this baffle is huge. I might actually just leave this off, put the baffle on last. That way I can get my whole body in there. I have I got a 90-degree bit. That might work. If I can't wrap my hand around there, I can just get the screw gun in there and get the whole top done, put the baffle on now. But the reason the baffle is on now is because I need to see, so it's double baffle. So double baffle. But I need these to be put where they need to be so I can locate where the port needs to go. And then I have these blocks, spacers, that's going to go one in the front, one in the back. That's going to keep it completely, perfectly spaced all the way back and around the corner. So that's the next step. So something just occurred to me. yesterday when I put the template up on the subwoofer, I was a little bummed because I had a little bit of wiggle room, and I want this sub to be tight. And then it dawned on me that yes, I made this template a little bit wider, but I can throw another oversized bearing on there, and I can shrink the hole, the permanent hole, that much further, and I should be able to get this really tight. So that's where I'm going to go now. We'll go to the router. I'll throw the oversized bearing on. Worst case scenario, I put too big and the hole is too small and I got to go back and take a little bit more off. Best case scenario, it fits tight. Oh, yes. See how much movement that is? That is like maybe a 1/16 of an inch. Yeah, that is perfect. That is absolutely perfect. So now I can use this baffle will actually be my template for the other baffle. And then, so the reason for, having such a tight, fit is that gives me more meat for the screws to sink into for the T-nuts. Oh, that makes me very happy. So unfortunately for me, while I was trying to clean up a little bit, I broke my tripod. So I'm going to try and film the rest of this just holding the camera. But okay, so second baffle is done. You can see a ton of screws holding it to the first baffle and glue, spreader. There is a massive layer of glue underneath this second baffle. So glued and screwed, this baffle is going nowhere. And that's what the box kind of currently looks like right now. But the next thing I got to do is I got to throw this in this hole, mark out where my holes are going to be for the securing it. And then I got to get the T-nuts that are over there installed. So here's where we're at. I sucked up 6 of the T-nuts while I was trying to clean up these guys right here. I accidentally sucked up 6 of them. I pulled the bag apart and I found 3 of the 6. I don't know where the other 3 went, and I dumped that bag like on the floor. I had a huge pile from that thing on the floor right there. Couldn't find the other 3. So here's where we're at. Had to go buy 3 more. So those are in, those are glued. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to set this, I'm going to clamp this in place so I can start taking measurements, and I'm going to get all of the bracing cut today. I'm going to try and get it installed. I don't know how to short day at work. So the plan is brace, brace, and then front to back brace, front to back brace. And then I'm going to go 1 brace in the center, 1 brace in the center. So this thing is going to be braced, and I'm going to tie the sidewall into the port, or excuse me, into the window bracing. The window bracing would be tied into the baffle, and of course the window bracing is tied into that port too. So everything will be tied together, and I'm going to do 1 more brace right here. So this is also, actually I'll probably do 2 braces just to be on the safe side. So this will also be braced, nothing will flex, and this box is going to be solid. Also, I got to show you what I did. So I accidentally dropped this thing and shattered this piece right here, this guy right here. That's what holds my phone. So until I get a new one, I'm going to try to utilize this thing. Shots are going to be a little bit weird and kind of juddery. We'll see what happens. I should have my new tripod here in the next couple hours. So if you've been a follower of my channel, you'll know that pretty much every time I build something, I break something. So on the last video, my foot caught my tripod, and unfortunately I broke it. But I got this guy in the mail. And this thing is killer. I have a selfie stick that detaches if I want to use it as a selfie stick. But so this is going to be my new tripod for videoing. So I'm excited about that. But today, I just got off work, so I'm just kind of doing little stuff here and there. But Baffle's attached. I got all of the T-nuts are in now. So next thing I'm going to work on right now is those marks right there, and right there, and right there. These are my bracing marks. So it's not exact. This just close to where I'm going to put the braces. I just set it in there and said, okay, this looks good. Had the subwoofer in there, so that's where I'm going to set it. I still got to go back. I got a silicone and everything. The top's not on yet because I have to install this rail. So I've got this rail. I've got a rail that's exactly like this. It's going to go on the front, and then a rail that's going to go on the side. And then for the port side, because I don't want to drill holes in this port, I am going to have just a stop block right here, so it'll be secured on all three sides. I'm going to put a piece of 3/4 inch wood underneath this, so it brings it up basically to level there, and then I'll drill 4 holes. I'm going to go 4 bolts per rail on the front and back, and then 3 bolts per rail on the side. But this gets it up off the floor, so I can drill in through here, and I'm going to be using fender washers on the inside here. A fender washer, I'll just walk over here and show you. So this is a fender washer, big flat washer, and I'm using quarter 20 bolts. I'm going to apply a thick bead of silicone on this side where it passes through, so everything is sealed. So anyway, so next step will be I'm going to get the braces pocket hole drilled and glued in and screwed in, and that's where we're going. Okay, I apologize. So what happens is I get in the zone and I forget that I'm recording, or I'm supposed to be recording. But so I skipped ahead. So here is the L channel on the one side that is it's not fully attached. I just put it in there to make sure it works. 5 bolts on that side. Now here's all the bracing, and obviously these look weird because the lid's not on yet, but so cross brace, front to back, top to bottom. I was gonna do another brace here, but then I've got this brace sitting right here, and I mean, there's no reason for it. It's overkill in my opinion, and I don't need another cross brace on the bottom just because I've got the top one. And so anyways, so that's all the bracing. That's done. The lid is sitting right there. I've got it marked out. I'm ready to drill the holes for this side of the wow, brain fart, for this side of the enclosure. And this is how it's going to sit. So sub up, port up. So, and then over there, that piece right there, that is the platform. So once I get this done, sanded down, and in finish, I'm going to set it on the platform and figure out where it's going to go on the platform. And I will record that. Okay, here we are. So I got to attach the lid. This is the only thing that's got stain on it first because I needed the stain so I could attach the rail. So it's going to get 1/4-20 bolt, flat washer on the inside, small flat washer on the outside, and then nylock nuts on this side so nothing vibrates. And actually, I said that wrong. This is going to go like this. The flat washers are going to be on the inside. So that's where we're at now. Okay, so 1/4-20 bolt is going to go from the outside in. Now I've got this here because this is basically simulating the floor of the box on the inside. So I know, and I put these washers on the inside so I didn't run into problems with the bottom, hitting the bottom. So we're going to go 1/4-20 bolt. Put that dude in. And what we're going to be doing on for the seat straps is we're gonna bolt down from here straight down into I'm gonna put a piece of 3/4 inch wood right here, and we're gonna go down, and then underneath the platform I'm gonna put a strap, so we're metal on metal instead of metal through wood. So now, as you can see, the bolts are going to come through. I'm going to use silicone on the flat washers, and then I'm going to use nylon nuts, nylock nuts, so they don't come loose. Okay, I'm done for the day. The lid is on. The bracket is attached. I'll just show you that real quick. So everything's good. So I stained this first so I could put that bracket on. I didn't have to worry about any of the stain being not where it needed to be. So here we go. I'm not quite done with the inside yet. I still have to throw silicone on the lid, but I'm giving all that glue the night to dry. But you can see the hardware, silicone, those washers, those are the fender washers. So there's your window brace, top brace, or excuse me, left to right, top to bottom, front to back. There's your port. And I'm hoping tomorrow that I can throw another coat of stain on that and make all the white from the silicone go away. So for those of you who are like me, like Star Trek nerds, I feel like I should start today by like saying, you know, Captain's log, star date, whatever. But today is the last day of this build. It's been a long time. I'm trying to do it in between work and, you know, spending time with family and whatever. Luckily, the guy who I'm building this for is super awesome as far as time is concerned. So I'll show you where I'm at right now, what I have left to do today, and then we'll get to work. Hopefully I haven't covered this in other videos and I'm repeating myself, but so this is the red stain that I'm going to use. This one's done. I have to do a couple more coats on these so they all match, and that's the little one. So that was done last night. This is the box as it sits right now, so I'm going to pull it out of clamps. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to be routering. That thin piece is going to be on the front. This is going to be sub up, port up. So what you're going to see is that bottom when you open the truck. So I'm going to route out two, I believe they're 2.5 inch wide inlays on the front, and I'm going to carry it around to the side. So you'll see that when you open the truck, and then when you look on the top, you'll just see the one thin line. And then I have to finish stain. I have to get this rail. I got to get this cut, drilled, and installed. So I have to get the stain before I do that, which is no big deal. I still have to do finish sand. And then I got to get the platform, which is right there. I got to get that stained. I can't do really anything with that until I get the truck here, and that'll be next weekend, and then that'll be the end of this build. So what I did is I just painted these rails like type of a brown, and it really actually matches this ebony stain quite well. So you're not looking at it and you just see ugly black rails. So, okay, that's where I'm at. Let's get started.
take flight in the dark on the light. Eyes locked, you can feel. On the thrill is surreal. Whispers low, don't speak. Shadows fall, I take flight in the dark on the light. Eyes locked, you can feel. On the thrill is surreal. Whispers low, don't speak.
Okay, so all the edges are rounded. Next step, before I even bother sanding, you noticed I went back and I filled in all these little tiny, teeny, tiny voids with filler, so that needs a chance to dry. But while that's drying, I'm going to take a measurement from here to here, figure out where center is, and then I'm going to put this in. Now, if you noticed, I had to use a clamp on one of these sides. I think it's this guy right here. I had just a little bit of tear out. So I don't want that same tear out when I do this inlay. So what I'm going to do is, once I figure out where this is going to go, I'm going to use a razor and I'm going to split this top piece of veneer. I'm going to cut it. That way when I go back through with the router to route this out, it won't tear that. I'm also going to tape it because I want to make damn sure that this doesn't get tore out. I'm going to do the same thing with this side as well. But so next step, measurements, figure out where this is, and I'm going to be using this router. Now the biggest thing is to make damn sure that my lines are straight. I have this. So I'm going to run this, and I've got this jig right here that'll set up with that. So once I set this exactly where I want, I'll put the jig in the rail, and then I will just move it, and it'll give me a dead straight line. This is exactly what I envisioned. Now, obviously, I have to cut that out, and I have to cut this out. It's kind of sort of in there. I test fit it, and I'm going to have to use a block of wood to tap that in, which is exactly what I wanted. This thing is so tight. So now I have to still router out this side and this side. I wasn't going to do this side initially, but when you open up his truck, this door and this door, you're going to see this, and then when you look on top, you'll see this. So I think if I carry it all the way around, most people aren't going to see this side, so I'm not super concerned. But I'm going to carry it all the way around, and that's going to look sweet.
Got my boots caked in mud, got a little bit of rust on this old Chevy I trust, kicking up the dust. You got that city girl dress, but those restless eyes tell me you're tired of the mess and all the white lies. So slide that pretty self on over, let's leave this town behind. Girl, let me blow your mind. 'Cause all those other guys wanna buy you fancy drinks, but you look like the kind who knows just what she thinks. You wanna trade the concrete jungle for a sky full of stars, dance in the headlights of my car. Yeah, that's who you are. Out here where the self-service dies, we can finally feel alive under these country skies. We can sit out on the hood with my beat straight up six string. You can sing the harmony to the songs I sing. Got a cooler in the back, a little whiskey and coke. Turn the radio up till the speakers all broke. You can let your hair down, kick your high heels off for good, just like I always knew you would. Cause all those other guys wanna buy you fancy drinks, but you look like the kind who knows just what she thinks. You wanna trade the concrete jungle for a sky full of stars, dance in the headlights of my car. Yeah, that's who you are. Out here where the cell service dies, we can finally feel alive under these country skies. My night, your night, this is our kind of scene. Just you and the moon and everything in between. We're writing our own story, one verse at a time, yeah. Your hand fits perfectly in mine. Cause all those other guys wanna buy you fancy drinks, but you look like the kind who knows just what she thinks. You wanna trade the concrete jungle for a sky full of stars, and dance in the headlights of my car. Yeah, that's who you are. Yeah, that's who you are. In the headlights of my car, my kind of night, your kind of star.
Okay, so the stain is completely done. The box is, well, the box is stained. I got the other side done too, but so this is the bottom. I just did one coat on that because who cares? It's never going to be seen. And so now I have to do the inlays, which I think I'm going to break out the pin nailer and I'm going to go ahead and glue those in as well as nail them. And the I'm really happy about this right here. The terminal all but disappeared once I stained it, so I'm stoked about that. All right, inlay.
the floor. Never seen a crew so fly. Yeah, we...
All right, so what you just saw me doing was cutting the bottom rails for these. I was really bummed out because I actually used 1024. I tapped and dyed those. Excuse me, tapped and dyed. I tapped these for threads, and I was hoping to do the exact same thing with these, but the tap and die set I got, the cutter actually snapped. So these will be threaded. These will just go straight through and get the fender washer and the lock nut. I'm thinking that they're probably going to have to come up through this way, because going down through, I think we're going to hit the carpet. So you'll see the washers and stuff on this side. I don't know. I'll find out tomorrow when tomorrow or Sunday when I install. But yeah, so next step is I got to cut these rails to sit underneath this, because remember, if this basically was a spacer for the floor of the box. So I got to cut this because who's going to want to see this excess? I'm just going to have it nice and flush behind there, and then I'll drill my holes. I'll probably use this one because, like I said, since that's threaded, I don't want to mess those threads up. I'll just use this one, clamp this onto this, cut the holes, and then the bolt will take care of that. And I got to do that for all three sides. So here it is. This is the box completely done. Now what I did is, after I let the stain dry completely, I went ahead and put a coat of teak oil over it. So you can see it's got kind of a little bit of a shine to it, but it's more of a satin shine. And man, so on this side, I'm just going to have this stop block right here. I'll show you. So that's just going to attach to that's going to attach like that. The other three sides will be secured, but this one's just going to stop the box from moving. So, and then I've got all this strapping, and I got the wood drilled for that. Now what I had to do on this side, so you'll notice this is higher, and the reason that's higher because inside the box I've got that round over piece right there. Oops, sorry. So I've got that round over piece in the corner. And you'll notice the bolts are higher than that round over piece because I couldn't stick the bolts through the round over piece and get a good seal. That would have just been completely defeating the purpose. And last but not least, I did add one more brace right here, bracing that that port wall to the window bracing. So this is it, man. Box is done. This is the platform. This is the template for the platform. So what I'll be doing is I'll be laying this down in the truck, taking measurements for bolts, and then figuring out where to land the box, where to hit the bolts. Now what I'm going to do is this 1-inch strapping right here, I'm going to do the exact same thing with this that I did with this. So this piece right here, this is actually going to be underneath the box. This will be the platform. If you just have to use your imagination, this will be the platform. And then I am going to go from the top to the bottom because these bolts are 2 inches and it is literally like a 2-inch depth. So I shouldn't have anything sticking out to hold the box up from the carpet. But anyways, yeah, so that's where I'm at. Next deal is to get that installed.